alright, this is like the second time I'm making this. I ended up making like a 20-minute long video, and I was like, I do not want a 20-minute long video, like that would suck, so I'm gonna make this again and hopefully make my points a lot quicker. My name is Melissa, and I am sighted, totally sighted. Well, I mean, I don't have the best eyesight, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I'm not blind. So I will be answering your questions, which please, excuse me, please, 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 please do these again. Like, it's so much fun for me to try and sit here and figure out how would I explain that. And it gives me a real insight into how you live your day-to-day life, you know. It's really cool, like, for us to get to answer your questions. So, alright, I'm gonna start off. I had to write all your questions down. How do you remember all the colors? How do you remember all the sounds, Tommy? You don't know, do you? You just remember them, like they're just there. And that's the way eyesight is. Once you've learned a candle looks like a candle, or a tennis ball looks like a tennis ball, or whatnot, you just always remember it. It doesn't go away. It's the same thing with colors. Once you've seen what pink looks like, it just doesn't go away. Once you've memorized the name, it just sticks. There are different variations of pink, and they get called different things like cotton candy or something like that. But it's all still pink. So, I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, it sounds really hard, I bet, but at the same time, how do you recognize all, like, of the sounds that you do in the day? How do you recognize the mailman outside, or the doorbell, or the dog barking, or a cat's meow, or whatever? You memorize it in a way, like your brain just knows what it is after you've learned. What is it like to know where everything is? I never know where everything is. Ever. Ever, and it sucks. Us sighted people tend to not put things in the same spot because we think that we can find it again. It doesn't always work like that because I forget where I've placed something and then it's gone. So I'll find it eventually, but it'll take me a while, and I have to really retrace my steps usually. At the same time, though, we do put some things in the same spot. Like I have books that I always put in the same spot, or shoes that I always put in the same spot, or whatnot. And that's just because those are things that we probably use more often, and so we don't want to lose them. Other things like, I had a pair of earrings that I cannot figure out where I put it. I don't wear them very often, so I didn't worry about losing them. But there's other things that we use every day, like shoes, that we don't ever want to have to, like, look for, and so we put them in the same spot. Us sighted people are pretty silly, huh? Why do you stop to look at an attractive person? Why do you stop to listen to the birds sing? Or a voice. Why do you stop and listen to the woman's voice in the corner? I mean, do you do that? I'm assuming you do. Because I do. Sometimes if I hear a really nice guy's voice that I'm attracted to, I'll stop and listen. And it's the same thing. If he is attractive, I'll stop and look at him. And part of it is a physical thing. Part of it's just our brain and our bodies that reacts to, the opposite sex. Or some people it's the same sex, but attracts us to another person. And a lot of the time it's partially physical. And we just enjoy looking at them. They're eye candy. So I don't know exactly how to explain it, other than that. Why do you listen to sounds that you enjoy? Why do you listen to music? It's because that you find it beautiful, right? And that's basically how it is with finding someone attractive. It's a natural thing. The only thing that's unnatural about it is what society taints us with, How do you remember things, like items? Like, how do you remember a particular make of a car, or vegetables, or fruit, or food? I don't remember makes of cars. I'm not good at it. I can remember makes, like Ford, Chevy, that kind of thing, but models? Heck no. I know what my model, like the model of the car we have is my family. and I know what a Lamborghini looks like. So famous cars that are known and seen a lot. But that's about it. I don't really remember cars that well. Just cars that I really like. Vegetables, fruit, and food. Vegetables and fruit, they're just kind of like colors, because once you've been shown what they look like once or twice when you're little and been told the name of them a couple times when you're little, it just sticks, just like sounds stick in your mind. So do objects and your vision. Things just stick in your mind and you never forget them. It's like learning to ride a bike. Yeah, anyway, moving on. How do you remember faces, and famous faces, like famous celebrities? I don't always remember faces. If I only meet a person once, I'll forget what they look like. But even though all of our faces are made exactly the same as far as, or they look exactly the same as far as our nose is in the middle of our face and our eyes are above that and our eyebrows are above that and we've got a forehead and we've got a mouth and some people have facial hair or, whatnot. Aside from the fact that all of that is the same, our features can still look totally different from each other's. My nose could be a lot wider than the girl's next to me. Or my forehead could be longer, or so on and so forth. Whatever it might be, there's a subtle difference, and that subtle difference is what sets faces apart. There can also be drastic differences too, but those differences are what make us identifiable by our eyesight. Fashion. Oh, I forgot famous faces. Famous faces, I remember those because they're plastered on the TV and I see them all the time. Miley Cyrus, I'll never get her face out of my head, unfortunately. So here's the next one. What's it like to go somewhere by yourself? No, I keep skipping them, I'm sorry. Alright, fashion. Fashion, why do we do fashion? Like, why would a woman wear uncomfortable shoes? It's just all about what is attractive to us. Just like you can find a sound attractive, we can find a look of something attractive. Like, personally, I like fairer skin, which is unusual. Most people like tan skin. I just don't. Maybe that's because I'm really fair and I don't want to change. I don't know. But we find things attractive by where we grew up, what we've learned, who we are as individuals. Different people find different things attractive. And plus some of it's just really society and some of it's really dumb. And, I wouldn't wish anyone to be blind, but I feel like everyone should be for one day, just so they know the depth of a human being rather than the outer shell. What's it like to go somewhere all by yourself? It's the same as if you are going to bed and you're in your room just kind of chilling out, getting ready to go to bed. It's the same thing, it's just that you're in public. So, it's not that much different. Let's see, going down. What's it like to drive? How do you focus with so much stuff going on? We don't, all the time. Like, I hate people who mess with the radio while they're driving or do their makeup or text. Texting and driving is terrible. Do not do it, please, if you can drive. But as far as eyesight goes, our eyes are built to focus on one object. Like, I'm trying to. I keep looking away from it. I'm trying to focus on the camera right now. So I'm looking directly at the camera. I can see everything else in the room, but I'm not looking directly at it. And if something were to fall over there on my right, off of my chest onto the floor, I'd probably hear it way before I saw it. Because I'm not looking over there. I'm not looking at it. So the truth is we can't look at everything at once or focus on everything at once. What's it like to get around in the snow? It sucks. I can't do it. Everything looks flat and one-dimensional because everything's one color. It would be like your world being all one texture. For us, I would assume it's kind of what I would compare it to. But it's like it's crazy. I don't like going out, having to walk through thick snow. If it's only like an inch or two, yeah, that's easy. But if it's like 3 feet of snow, that's going to be a difficult task. And if there's something under the snow, I'm not going to be able to see it, so I'm going to fall. How do you not see something? And why aren't you watching everything all the time? Like I said, your eyes only focus on one object or one part of the room at once. Actually, our eyes only focus on a very little thing, very little things. So you can't watch everything at once. And how do you not see something? There's a thing called zoning out, which I don't know if you've done much, but zoning out basically means that you stop paying attention to everything and you just think. And you're not looking at things, which makes no sense, but your brain just kind of isn't processing what is in front of you because you're too in thoughts or something like that. So if you're distracted or you're zoning out, quote unquote, you can miss things. And hearing is a little bit different. Like if someone were to say my name, I would definitely hear them because it's my name. But as far as sight goes, I can see it but still not react to it. It's a really weird thing. I don't think you'll ever be able to fully wrap your brain around just because it is a little bit weird. But I think the biggest part is that our eyes don't focus on everything at once, just little things. So if we're not focusing on that one thing, then we're gonna miss it. How do you lose things you can see? I think sighted people are pretty irresponsible as far as placing items. We don't place everything in the same spot because we're like, oh, well, we have sight, so we can just look around and find it. Which is true, but it might take a lot longer. So, like, I could lose a pair of earrings because I placed them somewhere and forgot where I placed them, and then I can look in places, but there's so much stuff, like you said, there's so much stuff around that you can still miss it. So, but at the same time, I do place some things in the same spot every day, and those are the things I don't lose. How do you not find your car in the parking lot? So many cars. And a lot of cars will be big, and your car might be small, and then your car is out of view. And there's also, the majority of cars are white, blue, red, or like a, silver. Like there's silver's not that popular, but red, or red, white, and blue, which is ironic actually, since we live in the U.S. But those are really common, popular colors. So if you have a car of that color, which I have a red car, it makes it a little bit more complicated. And why do you miss the exit? It's the same thing with zoning out. If you're not paying attention, then you can miss it. So if you have any more questions, please ask in another video. I don't know if I'm going to make another video, but I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it answered some of your questions, at least a little bit. I know I'm not a super good person at communicating, especially with a camera, but, it sounded like fun, so I went for it. Tommy, I really enjoy your videos. I'm a subscriber and will be forever and ever. So thank you for listening. Bye.